All right, guys, let's finish the week strong. My name is Lina, and we are reading these Power Minutes. They take a minute to read. You can subscribe to them at livingwithpower.org/Power Minutes. That's livingwithpower.org/Power Minute. Today's Power Minute is called Drop the Sword. Matthew 26:52 says, "Put your sword back into its place, for all who take the sword will perish by the sword." My mom heard a news story about a pastor of a church who was carrying a gun. He saw a stranger in the bathroom and for some reason held up his gun and asked the stranger to leave. The stranger grabbed the gun from the pastor and shot the pastor to death. While I am not a fan of gruesome stories, the first thing that came to my mind were the words of Jesus in Matthew 26:52. See, Peter's reaction to fear was violence. When the soldiers came to arrest Jesus, Peter grabbed his sword and clipped off someone's ear. Jesus, true to form, healed the ear. Then he rebuked Peter with a gentle reminder that all who take the sword will perish by the sword. While violence gives a sense of power now, its outcome is always pain and destruction later. The more violent our culture becomes, the more we as followers of Jesus ought to stick out as people of peace. The more your heart rests in God's protection and perfect will for your life, the less need you will have to try and control the outcomes. So won't you trust Him today? Man, that's a word. That's a word. We are trained in a culture to speak up, to fight back, and listen, perhaps Christ's way is best, which is to settle in, trust God, and let Him do the talking for you. I want to be more like that today. I want to be more like Jesus. And so let's have a great weekend with that in mind. Let's pray for one another. You guys are part of my community, even if I've never met you before. In fact, I'd love to meet you if we've never met. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you do, who you are, and know that we are praying for you. We see you and we pray that these devotionals are ministering to you. Hey, find out more about the resources that we have for you. Tons of free stuff at livingwithpower.org. That's livingwithpower.org. And we'll be back together again on Monday. Have a great weekend and take care of yourself.